Remember the Academy Awards? I said how he's the worst host in the history of the Academy Awards. And this stupid guy goes up, and it said basically, he is the worst host in the history. He reads the whole thing. And then I think he said something like, ha, 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 he thinks he bothers me, or some crap like that. I said, he's one of the dumbest human beings ever.
The strange part wasn't the insult itself. People are used to Donald Trump attacking others like this. What made this different was the timing and the target. This wasn't a random late-night post. Trump was going after Jimmy Kimmel again, clearly still angry about something that happened on live TV. Then people learned that lawyers had reportedly gotten involved behind the scenes, and suddenly the story got a lot more interesting. At first, it seemed hard to believe. A legal warning aimed at a comedian, just for making jokes? That alone caught people's attention. But Kimmel did the opposite of what people expected. Instead of staying quiet, he stepped right into the spotlight and turned the whole situation into a comedy bit in front of his live audience.
Chimpanzees, wild chimpanzees. She spent years in the jungle observing them, learning about them. And in many ways, I feel like I've been doing similar work over the past 8 years, observing Donald Trump. No offense to the chimpanzees, but... And after a while, I don't know how long exactly, but Dr. Goodall spent most of her time watching them from a distance.
Show more that comparison changed the mood in the room right away. Kimmel wasn't just making fun of Trump anymore. He was describing the last few years like a strange experiment everyone had accidentally lived through together. The audience got it immediately. The laughter grew because the joke worked on two levels. It was funny, but it also touched that familiar feeling people get whenever Trump takes over the spotlight again. This is where things get interesting, because Kimmel doesn't cover Trump the way regular political commentators do. He treats him like a wild, unpredictable TV event, someone so over the top in real life that he's almost impossible to parody. This approach has made Kimmel one of Trump's most consistent critics. But it's also created an odd cycle. Every attack from one side brings more attention to the other. The reports about legal warnings only added to that tension. Viewers weren't just watching a comedian joke around anymore. They were watching him openly test how far he could go, knowing the pressure was building behind the scenes. And instead of sounding nervous about it, Kimmel sounded almost energized.
Trump hosted the lowest-rated Kennedy Center Honors telecast of all time. And I will tell you something. I'd hate to be the White House intern that had to tear that headline out of all the papers and eat them. You know, as I recall, he said he would step down if this happened, right?
That line hit hard because it turned one of Trump's favorite weapons, ratings, against him. For years, Trump has treated TV ratings like a scoreboard. Higher numbers meant winning. Lower numbers meant embarrassment. So when Kimmel brought those numbers back up, the audience instantly understood the jab. What's interesting is how fast the crowd reacted after Kimmel's jokes. It wasn't polite clapping, it sounded like people realizing he'd gone somewhere most hosts wouldn't dare. Usually, when legal pressure shows up, comedians play it safer. They tone things down. Kimmel did the opposite. That's probably why the moment spread online so fast. People weren't just reacting to the jokes, they were reacting to how unbothered Kimmel seemed by any possible consequences. That confidence changed the whole energy in the room. It stopped feeling like a monologue and started feeling like a public dare happening live. Meanwhile, Trump's frustration seemed to grow because the jokes were clearly landing. Every response from him created another news cycle, another clip, another viral moment. Kimmel seemed to understand this completely. Instead of avoiding Trump's anger, he used it as part of the show. This is what makes their rivalry unusual. Most political feuds fade once one side stops engaging. Here, the engagement itself keeps it alive. Trump attacks, Kimmel turns it into content, the audience reacts, and Trump responds again. It becomes a loop where outrage and entertainment feed off each other. Underneath the jokes is the real reason this keeps getting attention. Kimmel isn't just mocking Trump as a politician, he's mocking the idea that powerful people can scare critics into silence. Every time he pushes harder after a warning, it looks like proof the pressure isn't working. That's why the laughter felt different that night, less like simple amusement and more like defiance. And the more Trump pushed back, the more it looked like a fight he had accidentally helped make bigger.